business. And as I said previously, Rwanda is a bridge uniting the Eastern Africa English speakers to the Congo with the minerals. And your question about the powers of words.
Yes, and the African Union.
And the African Union. In my life, I believe in the powers of words. I believe that words can be the best weapons as they can be the worst, depending on what we want to achieve as goals or objectives. You can use words and save lives. I happened to try in 1994, and from the beginning to the end, the 1,200 and more and plus people who were in my house were saved. Many others were using their words, especially the radio, because everybody knows what the radio was saying. When they made killing a job, urging each and everyone to kill, denouncing even people who were hiding in neighbors' roofs, asking people to help them to fill their graves because they are not yet full. Definitely, if RTLM was not there, 1 million people were not going to be killed. This is why, through my foundation, the Hotel Rwanda Rusesabagina Foundation, we have decided to use words in order to solve the Rwandan problem. They have tried to solve it by guns for centuries. They have not yet so far succeeded. What we suggest through the truth, justice, and then reconciliation is through a round table where people will see each other in a face-to-face and solve problems. So we believe that through dialogue only, people can gain to a lasting solution. Words are the best and the worst weapons in a human being's arsenal, as I described also in An Ordinary Man, my autobiography. It is also translated in Norwegian, in your language. I believe in that myself. You are asking me about African leaders and African Union. If those superpowers, of course, were encouraging people who are ready to compromise, Africa might be a free, independent, democratic continent. And sometimes those people getting those minerals might no more get them free of charge. So this is why they encourage always these guys from the jungle to a throne. So you can imagine someone who has been fighting, not even civilized, coming from a jungle and then to the king's palace. This is what happens in Africa. They help superpowers in most cases. They do help those guys who are not there for their own people's interests, but rather for the interests of some Western corporations. This is unfortunate, but this is how it is. The African Union, maybe you are suggesting that they might be the solution. To me, Africa being led at about 90% by dictators, I don't see Africa being free. I can never imagine a dictator fighting another dictator in the name of democracy. Can it happen? Can a dictator fight against another dictator for democracy? And 90% of African leaders are dictators. So I don't see the solution from the African Union. And sometimes you tell us in the West that we are the solution and the problem at the same time. Why you people do not do anything? But in Africa, you try to say something and you are dealt with immediately. I mean, you are killed on the spot. So this is why many people prefer not to talk, not to speak out, and keep quiet, and sometimes forever, which is so unfortunate.
All right. Well, thank you. Well-deserved round of applause, and we don't want you to leave Norway empty-handed, so we got you some classic Norwegian literature that you may read on the plane. I also want to thank Kitty Currit, who was sitting there, who's standing there for enabling this meeting. And before we all leave, I'd just like to mention that our first breakfast meeting in January is on the 14th. We'll return to domestic issues and take a critical view at our own democracy then, and look at how we nominate our politicians. So I hope to see some of you back in January. All right, thank you.